Touraine, France, September 1944. U.S. General George Patton's 4th Armored Division seems unstoppable as it rolls towards Germany.
We were an avalanche of fire and movement.
But Hitler strikes back with hundreds of dreaded Panther tanks.
The Panther was a real big thing. Made you feel pretty secure riding on one.
The American Sherman tanks used tactics to avoid destruction by the superior German armor.
It's not a matter of just firing. We have to think.
At stake is the Allied invasion of Germany and the end of the war in Europe. Two giant armored forces collide in one of the biggest tank-on-tank clashes of the war. This is the Battle of Arracourt. Normandy, 1944, almost 2 months after the D-Day invasion. Allied forces finally break through fierce German resistance and begin to roll across occupied France. The drive towards Nazi Germany has begun. British and Canadian forces advance in the north, while the Americans strike south and east. Spearheading the attack is General George Patton's 3rd Army. Patton, considered one of the greatest field commanders in U.S. history, leads a powerful force of more than 160,000 men. 1,500 artillery guns and 930 Sherman M4 tanks. The M4 is armed with a short-barreled 75mm gun with an effective range of just 800 meters and is protected by only 51mm of frontal armor. It's vulnerable, but light and fast, able to reach speeds of up to 40 kilometers an hour. That speed makes the M4 the most maneuverable tank on the battlefield, ideal for Patton's rapid thrust across France. Leading the advance are the tanks of the battle-hardened 4th Armored Division.
We had mission-type orders, and the best classic example of a mission-type order was Patton saying to us, "Go east and go like hell." So starting about the 16th of August, we went like hell.
We would be moving 20 to 25 miles an hour down the road. We would recon by fire with the bow gun shooting one direction and the coax machine gun shooting another. So we were an avalanche of fire.
When we hit resistance, if we felt it was going to take us time, we just pulled back and bypassed. And at that time, the tankers' byword was bypass and haul ass.
The American advance is fast, powerful, and relentless. Vastly outnumbered and suffering huge losses, the Germans are forced into full retreat.
The big advantage was material. The Sherman M4, you could destroy 100 of them, there were 120 more. They never ran out of men either.
Patton's forces overwhelm the Germans, who keep fighting desperately as they retreat.
German units had by then already fought some battles with the Americans. We drove past those and onto the road. The road looked like an abattoir. Entire German platoons had been killed by airstrikes. We drove around the bend, and all of a sudden we stood in front of an American tank, which was ready to shoot. And as soon as I moved the barrel, he started to fire at us. It was our luck that the gunner was nervous and fired at the slanted panel on our bow. The shell just bounced off and did no damage.
Protected by 80 millimeters of frontal armor, the Panther is almost invincible to head-on fire, and its 75 millimeter cannon has a higher velocity than the Shermans, making it deadly even at long range.
And he only got one chance to shoot at us. He didn't get a second chance. Our shells went right through their armor like it was butter.
Der amerikanischen Panzerleute zu beantworten.
American tank crews used to say, we in the Sherman are only suicide candidates against the Panther.
Sind gegenüber einem Panther nur Selbstmordkandidaten.
But even the best tank of the Second World War is not enough to hold off the large number of Shermans in Patton's strike force.
And in front of us on the field, there were anti-tank guns and tanks.
Waren Pack und Panzer.
The big battle started, and we got hit a few times.
Treffer, aber
Their soldiers must have been nervous or inexperienced, because they kept hitting us on the front plate, and none of the hits had any effect on us.
passiert. Wir haben an dieser
We
Stelle,
brought down 3 tanks there.
vermutlich waren es mehr, aber
There were probably more, but during all that chaos, it was hard to tell.